This is Mrs. Wilkoskis in the library. It is September 7th, 2016, and this is on how you might best prepare to take your freshman library orientation quiz. Okay, so if I were taking the orientation quiz, I would come up here, go to spx.org, I'd come down here and grab the library catalog search and just open it up. Okay, the other thing, because if I ask you a question on the library test about the call number of a book, I could type in anything and it's going to pop up. Hopefully you can build the call number based on what we taught you in class, but if you can't, you can look up the call number. The goal is, can you find the information? The other thing I would do is come here to right here, the freshman library orientation page, which is on the library haiku page, and this PDF. It's a PowerPoint turned into a PDF. You'll see it in a second. You'll notice there's all our information here that you got off those little cards all over the library. So you can pull that up and you can use that. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, right now for you, is I wanted to show you. I'm going to take this test as a mock student. Okay, I wanted to show you what it's going to look like for you, so that and actually I'm going to make this available for you. It's going to be called Mock Freshman Library Orientation Quiz. I think there's 3 questions. You can take it 7 times. I don't know why you would, but anyway, I just want you to feel comfortable before you start taking it. The library orientation quiz has 45 problems on it. This I think has 3. So I'm going to hit Start Exam. So here's what you see. Okay. You don't even see what's under here until you finish this one here. You can always come back. So it says, if student A forgets to log off the computer, student B can. And you can decide what can student B do. And these are not the questions from the quiz, but they're like the questions from the quiz. So if you're finding these hard, then you might want to go back and do a little, make sure you have your notes. So can they send email from student A's email account? Yes, because if you're logged into the computer, that Gmail icon's popped up, and they can get onto your email account. They can print, they can use all your print money from your print account. They can access your various computer drives. I will be honest with you, I do not believe that the kids around here do that kind of stuff. Certainly not with any regularity, but kids do print from other kids' accounts if they're in a hurry or if they've lost track of it. So I'm going to say all above, and that is true. That check mark does not mean it's correct. It may be correct. It just means you finished it. Okay, you won't know whether it's correct or incorrect until later. What time do we close on Friday? Do we close right after school? Do we close at 3:30? Do we close at 4? Or we never close? Okay, so we close at 4 Monday through Thursdays, but on Fridays we close at 3:30. So we hit OK. But you could hit I'll come back later and watch what happens. Okay, ooh, you got this little flag here that's telling you come back. Okay, so 3:30, I'm going to hit OK. Okay, here's a matching, and you have some matching questions on the test. So I built this. Okay, so here we go. I've got 3 books. Now I will, on the test, all the books that are part of questions are actually books we have in the library. We do not have Gary Paulsen books in the library because these are typically middle school books, but I love Gary Paulsen, so I used them. Okay, so this says, this is Gary Paulsen Woodsong. For a rugged outdoor man and his family living in northern Minnesota is a wild experience involving wolves, deer, and sled dogs that make their way of life possible. Include an account of the author's first Iditarod, a dog sled race across Alaska. Is that a biography? Is that fiction? Or is that nonfiction? Okay, a biography is a type of nonfiction, but we shelve them. If it's identified as a biography, then we start it with a B. Okay, and that isn't identified as a biography, but that's kind of questionable. So we're going to come on down here. Hatchet. After a plane crash, 13-year-old Brian spends 4 days in the Canadian wilderness learning how to survive with the aid of his hatchet given to him by his mother, and learning also to survive. Oh, I can't even say this out loud. And learning also to survive his parents' divorce. Okay, I'm guessing you all remember that this is a fiction book, and you guys all read it in like 5th or 6th grade. I love this book. So it goes right there. Down here, in this autobiography, the author relates incidents in his life and how they inspired parts of his books. Here we go. Autobiography is a biography. There we go. So that's this one here. We're going to come down here and you're going to drag it over there. And that makes this one have to be right there. Okay? And we hit OK. And we hit I finished. Are you sure? Yes. Oh my gosh, I made 100. Ah! Okay, if I wanted to, I could take this 6 more times. Okay, you will see your first attempt, and you will decide if you want to take it another time. You will get to take the test. It'll have 60 minutes. It says it's worth 100 points. It's going to take the 45 questions and divide them equally, so each one's a little bit more than 2 points, and you are allowed to take it 2 times. Okay, so I'm not going to take this again, but this is how you would take the test. You can practice that so you can feel comfortable and how that works. I'm going to close out of that, and just remember, if I were you and taking the test, I would make sure I'd pull up this. I'd pull up Web Safari. Okay, Web Safari is our library's online catalog. This is where you log in, right? You learned that on that thing, but you don't need to log in just to surf the catalog. The only reason you log in is if you want to renew something or reserve something or see something about your account, see what you have checked out. And then if you see your name up here, that's when you know you're logged in. Otherwise, you got to log in. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this is helpful, and good luck.